Hey, we're back in the seats of the theater again. Well, in my virtual theater right now with none other than Will Burton, big, huge Broadway star. And coming to the STL, we're bringing Broadway to the STL this year for the season. And Beetlejuice has never been to the Fabulous Fox. So, Will, welcome. And you're playing quite a character. You're playing Adam in Beetlejuice.
That's right. That's right. So excited to get back to the STL. Um, I actually worked at the Muni for several summers during college, and I just like fell in love with St. Louis. So I am super pumped to be there for 2 weeks. I'm super pumped to share this friggin' hilarious show. Just excited to get back there.
I love that you said you've been at the Muni. I love the Muni as well. And of course, the VP of programming over at the Fox used to be at the Muni.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so we're friends. Theater friends love each other here. We love Broadway, and Broadway loves St. Louis because we're such huge theater fans.
For sure. I mean, first of all, the Fox is one of the more beautiful theaters like in the country. Um, but I was shocked, when I worked at the Muni, and that is a huge house. I remember thinking, who is coming to see Hello Dolly? What 11,000 people are coming to see Hello Dolly on some like hot summer night? And I was shocked. I mean, I was like, it's amazing. The theater community in St. Louis is so much stronger than I ever would have expected. But I love it. I love it. And like I said, I'm so excited to get back there, especially with this show. It's been so long since I was there at the Muni, and I'm just really this is a great show. I'm really excited for people to see it. It did really well on Broadway, but a lot of people can't make it to New York to see this thing, and to bring it to St. Louis is going to be really really fun.
I think that's what I'm excited about for the whole season because every single one of the Broadway season shows, it's the first time at the on the Fabulous Fox stage, and
Awesome.
just yeah, only recently in the last couple of years, a lot of Broadway shows have started here because they realize how much we love theater. So I always like to say you don't have to go to New York because we're bringing New York here. And you've got, boy, do you have cred. And you've been in so much stuff. You mentioned Hello Dolly. That's one of my all-time favorites. But Will, what's so funny is some of the shows, like I was looking at your bio, which of course they could see when they go to the show at the Fox, October 10th to the, I just had it, 22nd. Hello Dolly, Kiss Me Kate. I did that in high school.
Awesome.
You did an American in Paris, Holiday Inn, Young Frankenstein. These are all kinds of shows that my generation would have known as a little kid as like some of them films. So did
Right.
you know about these shows or did you have to learn about them?
That's a great question. I was not raised on theater really. I sort of found it once I got to high school. So I didn't know about most of these shows until high school or later than that. And Hello Dolly is a really great story because I my first summer at the Muni, I got cast in Grease, Hello Dolly, and Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And I knew Grease and I knew Joseph, and I was so excited about those. And I was like, what is Hello Dolly? What is this old relic of a musical that I know nothing about? I was so like down on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched the movie, the Barbara Streisand, directed
Oh,
by Gene Kelly, and I was like, oh my God, this is like magic. It's true, like perfect musical theater in my book. And it shot up to like the top of my list of like favorite musicals. And so I did it that summer at the Muni, and then it just sort of stayed in my life. I did it a few more times, and then I did it on Broadway. It was like my first principal role in a Broadway show was
wow.
Ambrose in the
Wow.
Broadway show. So a lot of these I really didn't know. Like I remember my parents trying to make me watch Young Frankenstein when I was young, and I was like, "Why is this in black and white? I don't want to watch this."
It's such a great show.
It's so
It's
so
brilliant.
good.
Yeah.
And yeah, and eventually I, saw the light. But yeah, so I didn't know about a lot of these shows. Kiss Me Kate, certainly I didn't know about until I was much older. Holiday Inn was a new show, but based on an old movie that I didn't know about. So, it's great for people to be raised on theater, and I love introducing young audiences to theater, but it's also not out of the realm of possibility that people fall in love with it later in life. And so
Mhm.
I love one of the great things about Beetlejuice in particular is we get so many people who come to the show and they bring someone who has not been introduced to theater at all and they love it. It's a really great intro show. It's very funny. It's very modern. The music is very modern and kind of centric and rock centric. So it's a great show for people who haven't seen theater, but it also obviously is a great show for people who love theater. I mean, it sticks to a lot of the theatrical tropes and sort of comments on them and stuff. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it because of course, like so many people, I'm a huge theater goer, but have not seen Beetlejuice, only the movie. So of course, anybody who's seen the movie, you're playing the part that Alec Baldwin played in the
That's correct.
film. Now, but I love that you said it was a modern kind of, the music is more modern because we have so many shows that we have modern shows this season, but we also have company coming back. We've got a lot of it's such a great mix for the season. So is like what I mean, and how does it differ? I guess would be the question that a lot of people are going to say, "Hey, is it like the film?" Because they're going to do that. You can't help it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, of course. No, I think it surprised a lot of people. It's not word for word the film. They
Hmm.
definitely like adapted it, which I think is really important because a lot of times I think there's this tendency for, if a producer says like we want to make a Beetlejuice musical, it's because they know Beetlejuice has a following and it'll sort of get butts in the seats, which there's nothing wrong with that. But then there's this idea we need to stick as close to the movie that we know worked, that made a lot of money as possible. They did a great job adapting this to put it in a proscenium and to make it theatrical without taking away the essence of Beetlejuice. Like obviously, um, Tim Burton, you can't separate the two, like Beetlejuice from the Tim Burton aesthetic and the Tim Burton kind of sensibility. And so that is everywhere. The sets and costumes and everything are all kind of exaggerated in this really beautiful Tim Burton way. And there's tons of homages to different Tim Burton movies within the musical, but they did some really wonderful stuff with the plot to kind of give some of the characters more of a like
More
a
depth and more.
theatrical emotional arc, exactly, more depth.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's a really great adaptation, and you got honestly, in the movie's not very long, but Beetlejuice the character is only in the movie for like 15 or 20 minutes. He's
That
really
is
not
true.
in it that much.
Mhm.
And so there's a lot more Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice is sort of the ringleader of the entire show. He's sort of talking to the audience throughout the show. So a lot more
I love
Beetlejuice.
that.
Yeah,
I
it's
call it a
it's
love story and people think I'm crazy. I go, but it kind of it is a love
Oh
story.
no! Oh, absolutely, and even more so in the musical. Even more
Really?
so in
Oh,
the
love
musical.
it.
Yeah, there's this element of, the character Winona Ryder's character Lydia in the movie, like just lost her mom. That's sort of like the
Right.
emotional core of the thing, and they really make more of that in this, where our characters, the Alec Baldwin character and the Gina Davis character, um, can't have a kid or didn't have a kid before they died in this house, and then Lydia sort of like their relationship with Lydia sort of develops in this really beautiful way, and then Lydia's relationship with Beetlejuice, which really is non-existent in the movie, um, really has this beautiful arc that kind of comes to fruition at the end. And so
It
it
was in my
really
mind. See the movie, that was in my mind. So the fact that it's coming out on stage is fantastic. I
There you
love
go.
that.
Exactly. Exactly. But it sticks to, all of there's so many iconic moments in the movie that that our show has, that people like we can hear them go, "Oh my God, this is the famous blah 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 scene," and they start giggling and they start laughing and they start applauding sort of before it even starts, which is
Yeah.
so cool for us because they're starting at level 9 and we just have to get them to level 10.
And wasn't it, and I was just thinking that, so this is a Tim Burton, that became Broadway. Didn't he do the film Sweeney Todd? Wasn't he the one who directed it?
Yeah,
I
he
want to
might
say,
have.
isn't
Yeah,
that
I
funny? So
think you're
he did
right.
the
Yeah.
opposite. He took a
Yeah,
Broadway and made it
exactly.
into
He went
a
to
great
Broadway.
film.
Exactly.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
film. And I think anything Tim Burton does, to me, he's like it's going to sound weird, but the Dr. Seuss of this kind of in film, because Dr. Seuss's
Absolutely.
characters were a little odd, sometimes
Yep.
a little creepy even, but you loved them in a good way. It wasn't in a bad way. And so I think
Yeah.
there's a little darkness in all of us, which is a
Absolutely.
beautiful
He's
thing.
absolutely, and that's kind of the cool. It's just he's sort of the adult Dr. Seuss. He exaggerates all of the things in order to tell the story in the way that he wants to tell it, which is
Yeah.
very cool. And our sets are like, but when I saw the show on Broadway, I was like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. This is beautiful. The sets are amazing, and we've got all of that and more. It's on this tour.
So how long have you been playing Will for or Adam for?
So we've been on tour probably 9 or 10 months or so. We started we really started in November, December of last year.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, about 10 months, going strong,
Now,
having a great
how
time.
hard is it to be in? Because I know you're when you're on tour, it's got to be tough. Do you see family, friends often?
You know, tour has so many amazing benefits, and at the same time has a lot of really tough things to deal with, if we're being honest. Like, and one of the benefits that you just mentioned is like, I have so much family and friends around the country who can't just pick up and come see me in New York when I'm in a show. You know, they have lives and they
Mhm.
have kids and they have this and that, and they can't just come see me in a show in New York. And I've always understood that. And so when I got this job, I went, oh my God, I looked at the schedule and I went, okay, well, these friends are going to come in Tulsa. These friends are going to come in San Diego. This family is going to come in Des Moines. And so that is incredible that I get to
Yeah.
go and spend time with these people and they get to see me doing my thing that they've known I've been doing for my entire life. And so that's really wonderful. The tough thing is definitely traveling all around actually is really is really tough. We stay in these cities for a week most of the time. We're lucky to be staying in St. Louis for two. And we do 8 shows and then we pick up and on our one day off, we're busing or taking flights to the next city. So it's grueling, but the good outweighs the bad for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of friends in St. Louis, and I'm excited to come see the show.
Oh, that's
So,
fantastic. So, well, yeah, I mean, you've been on the Muni stage. Have you actually been on the Fox stage?
no, no, I've only ever
Oh,
seen shows at the
oh,
Fox. I know,
oh,
I know.
I could just go
I'm
there. I
geeking.
mean, oh, I've been up there just to intro people, when they've had
Yeah, and
concerts, and there's just something so magical. It is one of the most beautiful theaters. Growing up in
it
LA,
really
and
is.
yeah, it's way better than any theater in LA. Sorry, hometown, but to me it is. And it's just beautiful, and there's so much history there. So I
Right.
love that to bring this show that's got the newer kind of music to it, a newer twist to a theater that used to be, gosh, I think it was a movie theater when it first opened, the Fox Silent Movies or
Wow.
something. Yeah, so
Very
changed a
cool.
lot. So what's it like to play this character?
Oh, it's wonderful. I mean, it's I saw the show on Broadway, when it had first kind of opened, and I saw this guy who is super passionate about all these hobbies, and he's very neurotic, and he's not sure if he wants to have kids because he has all these hobbies, and he's got a partner that that he loves, and I was like, whoa, that is just me out there. So I told my agents, I was like, there's this role in this awesome show that I would love to play, and eventually it obviously worked out. And so I love this role. I love the show. I love the people I get to work with. The woman who plays my wife in the show, her name's Megan McGinnis. She is so wonderful, and we are joined at the hip through the entire show. So if she was a terror, my life would be hell. But she's really, really wonderful.
I love that.
And the guy who plays Beetlejuice, his name's Justin. He keeps us all on our toes. He's kind of from the improv world, and he's just kind of a wild card every night, but I mean, he's so deft with his improvisations and with the way he handles the audience. The girl who plays Lydia is just this superstar in the making. She's 19, and this is her first professional job, and she is
Wow.
a literal superstar. And I cannot wait to see what she does after this. But we just all have so much fun playing on stage together every night. The show is written to be so fun, and the audiences get so into it. People dress up. I mean, people come to the show just like ready to love it. So,
Yep, yep, and it's
um,
perfect time for here just around Halloween, so of course we're
yeah,
gonna
exactly.
definitely we love Halloween in the STL, so we definitely will be I'm dressing up for sure. Just which
Awesome. We're
character?
counting on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to see you, and I love that when you talk about it, I've never so far met anybody who didn't really and genuine, I believe it, get along. So it's almost like although your family's spread out, you do have family that you're touring with in a way, just very
Absolutely.
cool.
Very, very cool. Yeah, and that's one of the things I was excited about with tour. I was like, we're going to go to all these places, and we're really just going to have each other, which is a special, special bond. And we go and we grind this thing out every night, because it's hard work.
Mm-hmm.
and the bonds you make with these people really are special. You create all these memories all across the country. Um,
I
yeah,
think it's
like you said, it's really special.
that's neat. Now, do you suggest that people, because I'm somebody who has to listen to all the songs first, do you suggest that's a
Hmm.
good idea? Only because I like to hear the lyrics and know what's going on in the
Of
music.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I'm like you. Like I saw Hamilton without having heard the soundtrack, and I was like, damn, I need to come back once I've listened and I can actually like. But this is different. I mean,
Hmm.
I think it does a really great job of sort of helping people along and telling the story. So you don't need to, but I would say it wouldn't hurt. And the
Hmm.
soundtrack is so good, you know, it could be a good kind of primer for the show. So,
Hmm.
you know, whatever you think your personal taste is with something like that. But
You're going to
I
enjoy
like
it
to know.
nonetheless. Yeah, I,
Yeah, I
I
think
do
so.
too. Yeah, I do too. And of course, you're probably going to be able to buy some swag, and they might even have the music, all that stuff
Yeah,
there to
cast recording and
buy.
everything. Yep.
Yeah, so support the Fabulous Fox. Of course, tickets are on sale now for Beetlejuice. It's October 10th through the 22nd. Like you said, 2 weeks, which is we don't always have shows that long, and that's why I'm saying I think it's going to be sold out pretty much every night because we love that kind of stuff. So we're excited and welcome to the STL in a couple weeks.
I'm so pumped. I cannot wait to see you all there. Like I said, love St. Louis, love the show. Can't wait to share the show with you guys. We're all super pumped.
Well, we're excited to have you. And if anybody wants to find out more information, is there a willburton.com?
No, just my Instagram. You know,
Okay,
that's the website is Wilburton
got
Follow
it.
me there for all of the touring adventures.
Oh, I love it. Then you know what? If you follow Will, then you'll see exactly when the bus arrives and or the plane or however
Exactly.
you get here. And
Exactly.
you'll be going, "Hey, I'm coming to the show," and tag him. That'd be cool. So
Exactly.
awesome. Well, congrats on a great role. Can't wait to see you, and good luck. You're going to have a long career.
Thanks so much, Judy. Thanks for your time. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Can't wait.
Thanks,
Bye
Will.
bye.
Bye.